just mumbling until Chris comes back. So I'm just awkwardly sitting here because I pushed stream, and he's like, "You're gonna have to start without me." Oh, I was like, okay. So at 8 o'clock, which is right now, I will start the show with or without him. So here goes nothing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Almost Legal Podcast, episode number 65. If you haven't been here, look up the infamous object that they dropped on the moon. They made, wait, slow down, guys. Made a bell sound. I was just talking about that. It was a Hunter was talking about it. They didn't really drop it. They heard something hit, and they said the moon rang like a bell, like it was hollow. And Stanley Kubrick, bam! Stanley Kubrick's my man, Zach Smith. I got balls deep, and we brought him up last week. And all the Easter eggs he had in The Shining about the Apollo 11, and his ties to NASA and stuff. Stanley Kubrick is the director of The Shining, 2001: Space Odyssey, and Eyes Wide Shut, which ultimately killed him. Chris is back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and poof, bam! Welcome, Chris Emmerke, to the show.
We're back.
Episode number 65. You feeling better?
65. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We were just talking about the moon landing, and you calling everybody dumbasses for thinking that we didn't go.
Right. There's a lot of, and one of the things, you hear so much of the evidence on the side where everybody's trying to disprove the moon landing. There's an actual stunning amount of actual scientific information and all that does prove that we landed. As a matter of fact, multiple times between 69 and 73.
What's that?
Lots of things.
Like what?
Well, one of the biggest, and this is, and most people, this is the first thing they jump to, is the idea that we couldn't pass through the Van Allen radiation belt.
Okay, what about that?
It takes it's
so that's not coming from just anyone's mouth. That's coming from multiple astronauts currently on Obama himself. So,
oh well, that makes it the truth.
Well, I'm saying they on multiple occasions in interviews, astronauts and the head of NASA have said that they're trying to develop advanced spacecraft that can safely get astronauts through the Van Allen radiation belt because they're stuck in low Earth orbit. So,
with that in mind, okay, and some of this is kind of scientific, just so you understand, okay. When it comes to the Van Allen radiation belt, the argument is that you would be exposed to somewhere around 200 to 1,000 what we call rads within a few hours.
Rads, okay? But rads isn't the one that's dangerous to tissue. What's the other one? The other measurement?
Yes, I've forgotten what the other one's called. But ultimately, this is the one that supposedly would keep you out of the. Mm-hmm. This is some interesting stuff that they've kind of done some research on, and one of the things talks about the fact that there are times, if you understand how have you ever seen the pictures of the Van Allen radiation belt, how it comes out and it circles around?
Right,
okay?
It's like two donuts.
Right, and it's depending on where the sun is, okay, and the time of the year and everything, it's stronger or weaker at certain points, okay. And there's points where you could enter and off them.
Well, yeah. And
ultimately, though, what they found, what they've said is that when the timing that we went, first of all, they did super insulate the capsule to begin with.
Right.
Okay.
And the astronauts wore special.
And they had special suits on.
Right.
Okay. The time that they actually went through, they spent roughly 2 hours inside the belt area.
Yeah, it's about 27,000 miles wide.
So
the Van Allen.
Roughly 2 hours.
You got to think how fast they're going.
Right. Okay. They did, and don't get me wrong, it's not to say that they weren't sick at all from it. Okay. What they said, though, is the total exposure for those guys was roughly 18 rads.
Which translates to like a couple
chest
hundred.
X-ray.
Whatever the, I forgot, there's multiple ways to register radiation. And I should probably have this. It's rad is one way of measuring it, and the other one is what's the measurement of dangerous to tissue and bone marrow and stuff like that. And it equals up to when it becomes lethal to radiation poisoning levels is about 500, whatever that is, measurements. and it translates to about that would I think I looked at the same study. It was close to about 200 and something.
Right.
And I admit, yeah, that's the thing, but and they also did plan missions on timing where the activity of the sun was low,
less, right?
And other factors like that would raise the radiation. But we haven't been past low Earth orbit in 46 years.
Agreed. And again,
like that's my view on things. Like I don't think personally that we didn't go or we did go.
I think it's time we went back or tried.
But I think that there's certainly enough out there, enough questions out there that
agreed
that has some doubt in it.
I agree with you there. I mean, I can see, when you talk to people who are really into the idea that we didn't go, they do have a lot of information that if you absorb all that in.
It's a lot of sketchy shit.
I mean, you do. You go, okay, gosh, did they really? I mean, did this really happen this way? I mean, and there's a lot of little things. Like one of the other things that a lot of people talk about is the fact that, they say, well, if we landed on the moon and we have the Hubble telescope, okay, why can't we see? But it's a focus issue with them.
It doesn't have the resolution.
Well, it doesn't have the resolution, one, okay? But here's the interesting thing. There's been several other, most people don't even realize this. We have a satellite that's been orbiting the moon since 2009.
Yeah.
Okay?
The images aren't as good as I thought
they're not, but at the same time.
It's like they made it just bad enough quality to where people can have it be like, that's bullshit. It looks fake as hell.
But at the same time, what's interesting to me, if you take a look at some of those photographs, you can actually identify.
Yeah, but it's not
footprints.
Clear, right?
I know,
but it looks like it's Photoshop.
I know. I mean, and
which
again,
makes me mad because I can
Photoshop,
look at the top of my house and see super details.
You can almost read your tag from a satellite image.
Well, why don't you put that on the moon?
I wonder that too myself. I mean, I think that's the thing that to me is crazy with the technology that we have now. Why aren't we showing a picture of the flag on the moon?
Or why not have a freaking, they have live stream on the ISS. Why not have a live stream of Earth from the moon? How tight would that be?
Oh, dude, I'd watch that all the time.
That'd be cool as shit.
So you could see like hurricanes.
We'll just watch it rise up.
And the day and the night swap. Would that be crazy?
How cool would that be?
Maybe we'd ask Elon to take care of that for us.
How does that work, though? Because the same side of the moon faces the Earth at all times. How is there a sunset or a Earth set? Because they showed the picture of the sun coming up. How does that work? I
don't think the same side shows all the time.
That's why it's a dark side of the moon, because it's stuck. It's locked like this. It doesn't rotate. It's stuck on the same side of the moon faces us. Yeah. Actually, that's a lie. It rotates. It doesn't rotate.
The dark side of the moon is because the sun's on the opposite side.
No, hear this out. I actually thought it didn't rotate, but it actually rotates in the same speed as it orbits the Earth, so the same side faces the Earth at all times.
Let's do a little fact checking while you're looking at some of your other stuff. I'm picking a fact check.
I know for a fact that one's real. It rotates like this, like really slow, so when it rotates, it's rotating and keeping the same side of the moon to the Earth.
Let me tell you something creepy right here. I just pulled up Google, okay? And I type in, this is true now, okay? Right here, right now. I type in the word does.
What does it say?
First thing that comes up is, does the moon rotate?
Shut up. That's bullshit. I don't believe you. Is that real?
Look.
I'm going to try it.
Look. Does.
Okay, that's creepy. I'm going to type it in.
That's more than creepy, dude.
Oh, wait. Now I got to type it in on Google.
In the search bar, right.
Okay, it didn't do it to me.
Okay. My phone heard us.
That is creepy.
Dude, that's crazy. Tell me.
It says it. Like, clear as day, does the moon rotate? That's weird. Okay. Does rice have gluten? It's the third one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, why is that at the top? Does he like me quiz? Does the dog die? Does rayon shrink? Does skin cancer itch? But the first one that comes up is, does the moon rotate?
That's creepy. Okay.
Somebody's listening.
They love me.
I'm telling you.
They love me.
The moon orbits the Earth once every 27.322 days. It also takes approximately 27 days for the moon to rotate once on its axis. As a result, the moon does not seem to be spinning, but appears to observers from Earth to be keeping almost perfectly still. Scientists call this synchronous rotation.
So basically
So
what
there
I
is a
said.
dark side of the moon all the time.
Right. It spins in the same. I saw that somewhere. That's the only reason I knew. But yeah.
Now, the crazy part to me is, and I would assume, okay, the temperature difference would have to be crazy.
Oh, no
from
doubt.
the light to the dark side.
No doubt. I could only. It's like negative 200 or something
Right.
crazy.
So my question is this: if that's the case, and again, I'd have to look at it on the map. Where we landed, how far were we from that dark light side? I'm guessing
We were in the north middle of
the Sea of Tranquility.
yeah. You
understand what
I'm
I'm
saying
asking?
Apollo 11 was like if you look at the globe, like the circle, it was like right here.
So it's pretty much in the middle of it.
Yeah, and then it kind of branched out.
And I wonder if that was intentional, so that we didn't
Probably.
get too close to the cool side or the dark side.
I think they wanted to explore it.
Well,
But
that's what I'm saying. What they should have done was taken like a glow in the dark frisbee,
just chunked
slung
it.
it into the dark side.
I'd be scared to go over there. There's no telling what the
I know,
hell's over there.
right?
You know how gnats hide behind shit?
Right, something's hiding.
Yeah,
there,
there's some
right?
crazy, creepy animals and
Something
aliens.
comes out and go, oh, here it is.
Right, you can keep my frisbee.
But to me, and I want to say the satellite we have rotating around it now is something named like Celine or Serene or something.
Can't get
like
rid of
that.
Celine.
I know, right?
Celine Dion.
Let me tell you something about her. She promised years ago she was going to go away, and she lied.
I know.
And here she is.
Hey,
back
money,
again.
man.
I know.
Money, money, money.
But what I think is kind of cool is that they actually have photographs now of some of the equipment that was left behind. And you could tell it's like the rovers there. I mean, when we went back on subsequent missions later, we actually took more stuff and left it behind. Now, you sent me something the other day that did kind of make me question the whole process. You sent me a thing, and it was several hours long, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, which was really cool though, because it actually I tried to watch it with open mind. Okay, and what I thought was the most fascinating part about it is when they sat down and started talking about the actual physical dimensions of the capsule itself,
Not being able to fit.
We're talking about 24 inches by 32 in some areas.
Yeah.
Okay, the door opened in. Okay, which was a serious problem.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
See, things like that.
well, that's what I'm saying.
whoa.
And don't you go, okay, but at the same time, and my argument for that as I'm watching that is, did you ever watch the movie The Right Stuff?
No.
Okay. If you haven't, it's really a great watch. It's a super long movie, but it talks about, these guys who were in the space program had the right stuff. To me, the right stuff might have been you had to be that specific size too
Yeah.
to fit in those capsules.
We got to think about how big that suit is. That,
Oh, I know.
the life support
don't get me
itself
wrong.
is a foot
And
wide.
again, there was some stuff after listening to that whole thing that I go,
Yeah. There's some other stuff that, like, looking at it in open mind, like, I'm like, okay. That's why I'm like on the fence. But there's other stuff. If you translate all the evidence and things that have happened with details and research on any of the filings about the Apollo missions and translate that into like a murder case, you're getting convicted, son.
Well, and the guy, and I think it was one of those that you sent me I was watching, and what's interesting to me is that they gave the guy like open clearance to go to NASA, to any government agency. He had I don't forgot what they called it. He had like this
Gray clearance.
A gray clearance, whereas he could literally go check out anything. And he finds that all this documentation is just gone.
Yeah. About the
You would think that Hillary was running the NASA program.
right? About the actual the one that landed on the moon. What can I think of the
11.
No, the actual craft. I can't.
The limb.
Yeah. It never flew on Earth.
Well, and now
You realize
yeah,
that.
I get that, but I'm going to tell you, I can understand the difference in that because we're talking about a gravity difference,
Right.
Okay, so when you get up there, they were talking about the fact that the big jet underneath it, if it was using propulsion to keep it up, from landing down, and the three separate ones on the side.
You can tell that was made pre SpaceX because SpaceX.
Oh, dude, it would be so different now, right?
Well, because SpaceX, that's basically they use the same. They have boosters up top. How do you think
Right.
it stabilizes?
Right. But I think nowadays,
see what I'm saying? He
it would
obviously-
be done totally different, though, like more technologically advanced.
Oh yeah. Well, I get that point. Like, okay, that is possible, but for them to just say, okay, you've never flown this thing. Good luck.
It crashed it. It almost killed Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, that was the one time he
bailed.
ejected.
He
He
bailed
almost
out,
died.
right?
And he was apparently comfortable enough with it because I don't know if you know this. They actually, if you look at the trajectory of the landing on the moon. It goes like this. It goes down and then jumps back up.
Well, they were way off course, and they hit a booster, and
well, they were about to land into a crater.
Right.
He had to jump over.
Oops.
Imagine that. But what the hell?
But you know what's crazy to me, though, is if you start to really research the space programs and all, when you start to looking at the Russians end of thing, okay, those crazy fools came back down and landed on the land.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out so well.
They're way ahead of their time, man.
Were they ahead or were they behind?
They're way
We were
ahead.
landing in the ocean. Okay, we lost people landing in the ocean. They lost quite a few trying to land on the ground.
So do you think there's any possibility that they just, Neil, Buzz, and the other guy just went and orbited the Earth for 3 days and came back?
You know, though, and don't get me wrong, I don't think so. I mean, that's my personal belief. What amazes me is that how we're talking about, I think this is year 50.
63. Or no, 69. Yeah, we're getting on
50th
50.
year, 50th anniversary of the moon landing, okay? Subsequently, after 11, 13, which we know 13 that's a fantastic, well done movie too. If you want to learn some stuff
I made it
about
myself.
You made that yourself, and by the way, your direction was fantastic.
I
in that.
liked I liked the way I went.
Tom
with
said he loved working with you.
it. Yeah, Tom's a good guy.
But what I thought was really cool, or if you think about the process, you know, and I'm not sure. I want to say how many people have actually, how many? Let's just
How many people walked on the moon?
not necessarily walked.
How many people were in the?
How many orbited the moon at least?
I think 18 or 24 or something like that.
How many people went to the moon?
Okay, I found this.
Why don't you just tell me, woman? What'd she say?
Siri's dumb as rocks.
She really is. Hold on.
Let's ask Google. How many people went to the moon? 12. All right. 12 people went to the moon.
Hold on.
Okay.
12. And 6 of those drove lunar. So 12, and then add. How many missions were they?
Well, hold on.
You got to add one because one orbits the moon on every mission.
Right. Hang on. Oh, that's right. Somebody doesn't go down.
Right.
That's right. Somebody stays behind. Okay. But here's another interesting question. This is and I'll tell you why I'm asking this. Oh my gosh. The next question is
So add 9 to that.
well, hold on. How many astronauts have been to space?
That's a lot.
Take a guess. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Take a wild guess.
177.
How about 536 people?
Word.
Okay. Now
Now,
only think about that.
Are you going to the? Are you leaning to the conspiracy that space doesn't exist?
No. I'm
No?
leaning to the conspiracy of how do you get 536 people to not talk about it?
I mean, that's in space.
That's just but don't you think these same people know? What are we hiding the information from our own astronauts?
What's the percentage of the astronauts that have been out of low Earth orbit? It's just those 12.
All right, it says 24 traveled beyond low Earth orbit.
24 of those.
12 walked on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because the whole crew of Apollo 13 did.
And actually, 561 as of June 17th of this year have gone to space. Now, that's an interesting thing to me. It says, as of June 17th, 2018. All right, maybe that's just the date it was published, okay? But I'm thinking, when's the last time somebody went into space?
They're in space right now. They're in the ISS.
Oh, gosh, sure they are. So as of
There's
June
always-
17th,
yeah.
okay, there's people there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes good sense. Okay. Now, that's Americans, Japanese, Russians.
If you think the ISS is real or whatever.
Are we going there too now?
There's evidence.
That it's not real too?
I don't think it's not real. But
I don't either. And I think that there's been too many like scientific studies that have been done and information has been
well,
brought
you
back.
can
and all
physically find it.
that. Right. You can actually watch. You actually, believe it or not, at the right
You
time,
can get
and
a
all,
good rig with a.
set of binoculars.
Yeah,
and
you can see
actually
it.
see it. Yeah. So I guess
But no, that and the conspirators theory on that, they made a dummy, like a inflatable one,
And put it on a
something
weather
like
type
that.
balloon,
Yeah.
a smaller
And
model.
they had it orbiting.
Right.
I'm like, why would they go through that trouble?
Well, that's
How about just not have the ISS?
and again, I think that's my biggest thing too. Is the people who question it. What and you say, okay, well, it was because we were trying to beat the Russians. Were they passing off the same conspiracy that we were to the world general population?
Well, they did come out that they did fake the footage of what's his face orbiting the guy, first guy to orbit the Earth or whatever.
Okay, and
Gagarin or whatever.
Yeah, well, let's be honest about this. Okay, now, do I believe that probably was faked? Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Now that's a theory I can jump on.
To me, because we did it, back then, they were like, "Oh, we're not going to let those crazy Americans beat us." Not to space.
Are you talking about just Russia faking them or us faking the footage?
Russia faking them.
Okay.
I'm sure that happened.
Well, yeah.
But that was in response to try to not be the little guy. You know what I'm saying?
That was the first person to go in space or whatever.
They technically beat us.
Well, he did do it. They just faked the footage.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to counter and say, do you think we went to the moon but faked the footage?
That's an awful lot of,
because there is that radiation. You know what that does to film.
What did they say we spent? Some $40 billion?
$153 billion.
To go to the moon.
Well, that was the Apollo. That's what.
The Apollo program.
Yeah. And that was how they said because.
And you also realize that's 69 and 70. So, what would be the equivalent today?
You realize 5 years prior, one of the astronauts who died mysteriously because the amount of oxygen that they put into his capsule was 14 times the amount.
It was too much.
14 times more than the amount they need to have, and it blew up.
Oh, caught fire.
He basically said that the U.S. space program is a joke. We can't even launch rockets. 5 years, right? So you can go from 63 or whenever JFK was to then, but no, 5 years prior, they said it was a joke, and there's no way in hell we're going to be able to do this. And then fast forward 5 years to whenever, we're putting men on the moon.
But and don't
what they say, the reason that happens because we had $153 billion
to do it.
But then you go, okay, where's the telemetry data? Oh, we taped over it. So you got $153 billion, but you can't afford tapes.
But again, of course, you being identifying as a 36-year-old.
37.
37.
Had a birthday.
Oh, that's right, you did have a birthday. It's. I grew up in a generation. We watched of course, it was actually before my time too. There was something called Dick Tracy. And we all laughed and said, man, the guy has a phone that he can actually talk to people on. What a joke.
What a joke. That would never happen.
Like 5 years preceding, okay, NASA's a joke, okay, just like this is a joke.
True.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not a joke. Okay? We have our entire lives, computers, everything in our hands now, okay? So to me, somebody pre all of this saying what a joke the program was, it may have been at the time. If you've watched some of the movies, like with Apollo 13, the guy that didn't go, okay, he was
had measles.
Well, he actually didn't. Come to find out, okay, he was mad. Okay,
That's unfortunate.
Long story short, he went in and they were trying to do some tests. He was basically, they gave him everything that they needed. Actually, they gave him only what they had available on the Apollo 13 craft, and tried to get him to do it. I think they failed some crazy 3,000 simulations to figure out to get it right to where they didn't use up all the battery power.
Right.
Okay. So at some point, and it's kind of like the adage of Thomas Edison. How many times did he fail trying to make a light bulb? Or
2,000.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They asked, how do you feel about failing 2,000 times? He's like, I didn't. I just found 2,000 ways not to build a light bulb.
Right? Okay. But I mean, in a way, to me, the people pre all of this who would say that the program was a joke and this and that. Yeah. Two things. One, it probably wasn't perfected at that point.
Yeah,
okay?
but this is an average Joe.
Is it an average Joe or is it an astronaut we're talking about?
It is. It's an astronaut. He was an astronaut.
Yeah. But
if
here's
you
the
built
thing.
phones and
if he's the next one into the program, the next guy takes his spot. Aren't you a little pissed that you didn't get to go?
He died.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the guy who said that. The guy who said that. He died. Now, that example, you said, okay, we got this phone that whatever can do all this stuff. if I said it, that doesn't hold much weight.
No,
but
but
if
I'm just
I
saying-
built phones and I saw this phone is not nearly what it needs to be
You mean
this.
like the iPhone X?
Right. If I built phones and I'm like, okay, I know what this phone needs to do, and it's
not doing it. Okay.
Nearly, we're
But-
not even close to
And of course,
being
this
there.
is something we don't know. How many times do you think the process of coming? I mean, what was your first phone? Do you remember?
A Nokia.
Okay, I had a chocolate. You remember those?
No.
It's an LG chocolate. Okay, it's a flip phone. Actually, before that, I had the Nextel.
Don't you
the
miss
Chirps.
the flip phones, the indestructible thing?
I had a Nextel that was like Army type regulated as the yellow and black.
Oh,
one.
yellow
Dude,
and
you
black
could throw
ones?
that sucker across the parking lot and watch it bounce. And
Oh,
go
yeah, I
pick it
played
up and
hockey
it was
with it
fine,
all the time.
right? But I mean, I kind of miss the old chirp too.
Hit me in the next tail chirp.
Okay. But to me, I mean, even going pre that, I remember my dad riding around in the car and it looked like something off the Army, you know, how they had the big giant ones.
Suitcase phone.
Yeah, we're bringing in, you know, we need a flyby.
Charlie's everywhere, Charlie's
right?
everywhere.
And it's this huge antenna. But the original ones in the
Sorry
car.
to our Vietnamese listeners.
So the ones that were in the cars back then in the day were huge like that. Okay.
Car phones?
Yeah, and we thought how advanced that was for its day, and then all of a sudden, 10 years later, boom, we've got this technology. 10 years later, we have this crazy new technology. You know,
I see what you're saying.
Even I'm just saying, as fast as the thing can, I think that's the thing that kind of bothers me about the whole process now is that there's so many naysayers out there about the space program and all that. So why don't we just make them? Why don't we prove it to them?
I agree.
Let's just jump in,
That's the point.
jump on a craft, and let's go now.
And I think that's the part I'm kind of jumping on. Because it's not like I understand it, you know, it things improve leaps and bounds, but it's putting someone in space. We're talking about just launching rockets. They're putting a man on a moon.
Oh, I know. Oh, no.
Right?
We know now that anybody can launch a rocket in their backyard. That crazy
Right.
old coot,
And it's like
the flat earther guy.
we didn't have that much practice of people putting people in space in general.
Agreed. But it's just,
And all of a sudden we're gonna be like, all right, go.
well, what's
All these
interesting to
things
me-
we've never practiced have to work on the first try, and it does. That's
you know,
the thing. I'm
we,
like,
we
eh.
have stuff though like Mylar now, these cell phones. Okay, all of the products, everything that we use today, the technology that we're sitting here using right now. Okay, all comes from NASA.
Yeah, oh, everything is militarized,
Okay.
but still, I'm glad you're going this route because you're coming to my next thing. You just named all these things that we can do and all these technologies, but we haven't even been outside of low Earth orbit in almost 50 years.
39 years? No.
Since 73.
So
Or is it 70?
73.
73. December of 73.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me that's kind of crazy. And I guess to me another thing I would wonder.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like Obama pretty much shut the NASA program down.
Right.
Okay, why? I mean,
Why did they shut this last moon mission down?
I know. I mean, that's
Can we
to
not
me-
go?
I mean, why?
And Trump called their bluff. He was like, all right, we're going to go to the moon. And they're like, okay. Give us the funding. Gave us the funding. They're like, oh, shit.
Now we got to actually do
They're
something.
like, all right,
about
give
it.
us the funding. And then they got the funding back. All right, we'll figure it out. You know, we got the money. And then they were like, okay, it's getting close.
I know.
Let's pull the plug. Pull the plug.
I know. And again, these are the kind of things that I go, come on, y'all, man. Some, you know,
Right.
help a brother
Help
out
all
here.
the fanboy
well, that's what
moon
I'm saying.
believers.
Help me out
out.
here, right? Give me something.
That's
you know?
all it'll take.
I know.
But most conspiracy theorists, even if we went to the moon, be like, oh, it's fake again. Like,
I guess that's the thing that's hard for me when you start talking about conspiracy theories. So many of them are unprovable because there's things out of the past. Okay, we have an opportunity right here, right now, to say, all right, guys,
have more technology.
We're fixing to debunk this right here, right now. Put some guys in that sucker and send them up there. And now with our technology, okay, we have satellites and craft that are out there that have flown past Jupiter and all this, and we have photos, okay, of all this crazy stuff.
Look,
now.
at this point,
So send the guys up there to the moon and have them stand there and live on Facebook Live.
Yeah, literally. At this point, if you could do the live stream video, if you could send that with ease, I'll be like, all right.
Well, here's the interesting thing. And when Elon sent his car out there, okay, how many hours did that last?
I think it was 14
14 hours, okay?
Something like that.
It's not quite enough time, okay? But it was just orbiting.
Yeah,
Okay?
it was high.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, had you spent that 14 hours headed straight to the moon, how far would they have gotten, I wonder?
14 hours.
Like what supposedly, Hang on.
It's 3-day flight to the moon.
It's 3. Okay. 3.
It's
3 days there?
270,000 mile flight.
3 days there, and then 3 days back.
Maybe. No. Because the whole mission was 3 days, wasn't it? Then they launched the 21st and came back 24th.
Oh, no, yeah. How long does it take to fly to the moon? Let's see how dumb Siri is again, everybody.
All right, here's what I got.
How come she didn't answer shit?
1 second? Are you kidding me? Hang on. let me ask Google again. God. How long does it take to go to the moon? About 3 days to reach the moon. During that time, spacecraft travels about 240,000 miles. The distance between the Earth and the moon. Specific distance depends on the specific path that's chosen, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So 3 days, so I was right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So, 14 hours would be what? Not even a third of the way?
Oh, we're not even close because it takes 24.
Right.
24 hours would put you a third of the way there.
Right.
I guess that's my thing is that, and we don't know, obviously, how Elon's stuff shut down.
Well, that was just orbiting before the second stage boosters came on.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, what caused it to no longer broadcast?
The battery died.
Okay. Now, that blows my mind, too, okay?
Well, he just had the battery up. He just had that for the camera.
Okay. So it wasn't like, I see what you're saying. It's not like the battery was supposed to last indefinitely anyway. Okay.
No, that was literally just for the camera.
He knew it was it was going to end at some point.
He just wanted to see the effect of the paint and how the suit lasted in open space.
Open space. It was crazy how well it did, though. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you what. Of course,
he figured 16 hours was enough for that.
To figure it out.
Right.
Just to see what happened.
Because they still had control.
And I have to say, and I don't care what anybody says about that, that was some of the coolest footage.
Oh, no doubt.
I watched it, just watching it
so
rotate.
Fake. It's so fake.
It looks so fake. That's what I thought was cool about it, though, because there's no way you could but again, there's an image that you're not probably ever going to see anywhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Pisses me off.
Because we should be able to do that. Why
turn them satellites around and take a picture of the planet?
Well,
please.
That's what gets me,
There's no pictures of Earth.
You say there's no pictures of Earth.
There's not. There's that fake one.
Show me pictures of Earth.
There's not. It's all CGI, bro. There's
like
2.
All CGI.
Look at it.
All right.
You don't think I've looked at this?
This one's not CGI. This is the one that everybody's most familiar with, which is
marble?
the Earthrise. Yeah.
Which one? Show me.
Yeah, and it was taken from Apollo 8. This one. Earthrise is what it's called.
But seriously, other than that one, there's I didn't say there's none. I said there's 2.
No, but we have satellite imagery now that shows us it is interesting how many of them look a lot alike though.
And the famous marble picture, this one is a fake.
You know what's crazy?
What?
Is looking at all these pictures. We probably have more pictures of Mars.
That's what I'm saying. Turn them suckers around.
Right? Why has that not been done?
I don't get it.
Let's at least debunk the flat earthers. Okay? Send something up there. Flip the camera around. You ain't got to flip it around. You just touch the camera in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, just flip it to the selfie camera.
Okay?
I don't get it. We spend all this stupid money for stupid shit and just take a picture of the planet.
How much did you say do we spend again?
153.
153 billion. Billion, okay? What would be the equivalent of $153 billion in 1969?
Could have been million, but hold on.
No, it's billion. U.S. inflation, okay? Let's see how this rolls this question. How much is a dollar worth in 1969, okay? Basically, it says that the average inflation was 4. Okay.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. It was 20 billion. It would be up to 150 billion today. It wasn't that much then.
Okay, but still, in 1969, $100 in 1969 will be the equivalent purchasing power of about $645 today. So
Right.
ultimately about 6.5 times, okay?
Yeah, no, they didn't spend 100 billion then. It was
That's what
equivalent to 150.
What would it cost?
Yeah.
What it cost now? Okay, that makes better sense. Okay,
Okay, it was
'Cause I was like, God,
20
that's a
something
ton
billion
of money.
Yeah, 20 something billion then.
Do you know what's crazy to me? And I know you've seen this stuff too, okay? And I don't know what it is. You hear like they build a stadium and it's X number of billions of dollars.
Like Jerry's World.
Right, okay. Or they've put how many billions of dollars into Disney World. Or, and I'm not sure what was the most expensive. This, and I want you to realize we're talking about going to space here, okay, for $150 billion.
How much money did they spend on that pin? The astronaut's pin? Like $2 million?
Oh, I know, right? $2 million for a pin.
They probably don't even use it anymore.
You know what's crazy to me too is that like when you start talking about the money aspect of it all like that, hang on, that was dumb. Hang on just a second. Stop. All right. So what I want to understand is like what was the most expensive movie ever made?
That's a good question.
What do you think it is? This is funny. Wow.
Avatar?
Not even close.
What was it?
The most expensive film ever made, okay, was made in 2011. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
What? Why?
Probably half of what they had to pay everybody. The most expensive movie ever made was that. And here's the interesting thing, okay? The budget was $378 million, okay? Now, the Hobbit trilogy, if you add them all together, they were $623 million. I was trying to see you got to figure that, that's $623 million. That's pushing $1 billion, right? On making a movie. Okay? To me, okay, I guess my brain says there are buildings out there that cost billions of dollars.
Right.
Okay? We can build those, okay? Skyscrapers and, that are billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we spend a couple $1 billion?
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sure there's booty hole rich people. I don't know why that's not even a saying. I bet you there's buku rich. It is now.
Everybody has one.
These buku rich people that would love to just be like, I want to see this going. I'll throw in 50 or 20 million. Here you go.
So,
imagine like 6 people.
And I guess this would be my other curious question is like, you and I talked about it before. Elon said he wasn't going to waste his time like going to the moon or something.
Yeah, he's going to the Mars.
He's going to go to the Mars instead. Okay, so why not just say, hey, do something? Okay, let's just look.
I think he'll end up having to do that because
I think so too.
I think before NASA or the government will give him the green light, be like, all right, land someone on the moon, and we'll talk Mars.
Right, and I mean that makes sense to me too.
I think you'd need it, as maybe a fueling station or something.
I never thought about it like that. Once you get out of there,
right? You get to the moon, you fill up, and you wait till it lines up with Mars, and you launch out.
Movie I'm trying to remember. Crazy, and I think I'm right on this. Valerian, Land of 1,000 Planets, or something like that.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not Puerto
Rican.
Rican.
Cool movie. And when you get to the end of it, you see this or the beginning of it, I think is what it is. They start out, and it's basically. They time lapse through time to get ahead in the future, but it starts out like on the ISS. Okay, they add to it. Finally, aliens come and visit it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it becomes this like ultimately a planet-sized craft.
Right.
Okay. We would have to have some kind of, like you say, a refueling station or something. Okay?
No doubt.
Maybe that's really what the ISS is for. We're just because that's been built. That's actually, if you think about it, that's taken a long time to get it where it is too. Because to start off with, it was really quite small, and we've added to it and added to it over the years as we've gone to it.
Right.
I mean, so I think at first it would house 2 or 3 people. Is that right?
It was just they're adding in sections.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And now I think they can. I'm not sure how many are up there
big
now. Yeah, it's actually they've got like workout rooms and
Yeah.
it's crazy. But
I just think it's crazy that. Hold on.
I still say it's crazy that we haven't been back.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of those things. And if it wasn't just, if our country didn't want to fund it by ourselves, if we said, hey, look, we're going to do a worldwide mission to the moon.
Want to go?
Okay.
Y'all can come if you want.
No, I'm just saying, though, but who wants to be a part of that? Don't you think that some countries like Russia and China and the European countries and all those, if everybody pooled their money and said, hey, look, I think the problem there, though, would be the arguments, well,
It's a dick measuring competition.
which people are going? Well, so you think we're going to spend our money to send you Americans to the moon? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Just take one of each.
How many can you take? Well, I guess now we could take just pretty much.
We got to think.
What we
there's
wanted.
probably only a handful of countries that would even be willing to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like Israel, China, Russia, and America.
But surely there's people out there like the princes of all, like the Monaco people.
Screw them.
Dubai.
They don't have a country. They can lick my butthole.
Yeah, but Dubai, people like that with all that kind of money. Why wouldn't they help fund something?
We'll put your
like
logo on the spacecraft.
that? Yeah. Yeah.
The world's already
We're selling
bombarded
ad space.
upon ads.
Right?
I can't even use my phone without my phone scamming me. You're out of storage. Pay 99 cents. No, leave me alone. I already spent $900 for you.
I'll delete something.
Yeah, I don't need this. Where can I get a megabyte worth of space for?
Right?
Go through my contacts. Beg up. Don't need you anymore. Click.
Maybe we should start that.
What?
Let's a trip to the moon.
A GoFundMe?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you got
Josh and Chris's GoFundMe to the
GoFundMe.
moon.
Hey, what is a GoFundMe for? Oh, we're trying to
We're
fund
trying to
a
go to
space.
the moon. Since nobody else will do it, Josh and Chris.
It's an uphill battle, but I feel like we might make some headway.
$14 of 150 billion have been reached. Can't you see the little teeny dot on the end of the green
ETA
bar? Right.
goal achievement date.
Hopefully, I may not be alive.
3,146. Hey, speaking of GoFundMe's, there's a GoFundMe for Kylie Jenner to make her a billionaire.
A billionaire, dude, that's insane.
So stupid.
Okay, first of all,
I'll take a GoFundMe to make me a
look, I'm
quarter
gonna-
millionaire.
dude. I'll do a GoFundMe to make me a thousandaire.
Yeah.
Okay,
$20 is $20, huh?
Right? Okay. What gets me about that is they're trying to give her enough money to make her a billionaire. And don't get me wrong, they say she's a self-made woman, blah, blah, blah. She had help, dude. She's riding her family's name. She had Kim put some money into it. You know, it's not like and don't get me wrong, I'm proud of her. I think she's done really well to be as young as she is. But
Hold on. Someone's questioning about my hand. I do want to.
do you want to tell the truth or do you want to tell a theory?
A theory? I'll just. I broke my hand, guys. I fractured my fifth metacarpal bone in half, which is this. Oh, I guess I'll show you on the actual hand. Right here, it broke like this. So I mentioned it before the show started. As for that weight loss challenge, this is obviously gonna. Ooh, let me see that.
You want to show?
There we go. Where's my camera? I know this is gonna be bad. I don't know if you could see that. That's my pinky.
That hurt.
Yeah, it is what
Ow.
it is. But so yeah, do I still have to do the consequences or no? Or can I take a Molokai on this one and postpone it until I'm healthy? I don't know.
I don't know. I said, your complaint was that you wouldn't be able to work out and this and that. And I said, we might just have to get you a larger dress.
Yeah, I know. Like
So-
I was on pace to do it. I was gonna
we'll
make
just
it.
have to see. So I guess we'll just ask our listeners. Okay, do we give Josh extra time
Yeah,
for this?
do I have to
or do we
dress-
go ahead and put him in a dress and make him go out?
Yeah, do I have to wear makeup and stuff? Let me know. I love you guys.
Right?
Just saying.
Just saying.
But yeah, I have to have surgery on Monday, so
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe Wednesday night we can have Josh like in recuperation mode.
I'm game for that. I'll be there. I'll be good to go.
We good to go?
Have post-op on that day. No.
Do you really?
On Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Wednesday morning, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, odds are you probably won't do that again. I hope you learned your lesson.
I won't.
Okay.
I won't.
Good.
It almost cost me. Well, it's going to cost me $1,000
At
out of
least.
pocket. Which is not cool, man. Not cool because I don't make that much money.
And it's just left hand, and being left handed is going to make it a lot harder to wipe.
I know.
Just saying.
I know.
It's going to be hard to pick your nose.
I think I'll wipe with
my.
my right hand anyway.
There's other things that are going to be difficult for you too.
Yeah, I know. Like writing.
Yeah, like
eating,
writing and eating, right?
stuff like that.
That's what I meant.
Doing left-handed push-ups.
Right.
I knew you were headed. That's exactly what you were gonna say.
Great steal.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. What do y'all think about the moon landing? Y'all let us know. Let us know. Let us know.
We're pretty certain it wasn't made of cheese now.
Yeah. I think so.
Pretty sure. Pretty certain.
It'd be stupid if it was.
Hey, did you hear that this weekend that you can get Krispy Kreme donuts for $1?
Hey, the weight loss challenge is up.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't trying to push them in your face. Or
Why
anything.
not? No, hey, I broke my hand.
No, the craziest thing I saw this week, now that let's throw this out there. I sent you a little thing on it, okay? Did anybody else see the article about the 7 people arrested for having senior fight night in the old folks' home?
How did that happen? How'd that go about?
From what I understand, what the article said was that they were actually making these people get out there and duke it out, and they were withholding like medicine and food and everything until they got out there, these old people, and beat the crap out of each other.
Beating the hell out of Valtrex.
Yeah, 7, right? 7 of the other people were out there. 7 of the actual employees of the place were like betting and gambling on it.
That is awesome.
I want to do that.
I wonder how many broken hips happened.
I think you and I ought to have a senior fight night one night.
Dude, let's do it. I'm 37.
I'm 53, so I'm close.
I'm getting there. I can't wait. I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna identify as a 60-year-old and go
I bet we
house.
could find a couple older guys, some 75, 80-year-old guys
scrap?
who'd be willing to duke it out.
Shit,
Yeah.
My grandfather would be one of them.
Right? I thought that was
bitches.
crazy, though, that people actually do that.
That's effed up.
Crazy stuff going on out there right now. Here's the other thing that bothers
Why
me.
is that though? I hear that all the time about retirement homes and all this effed up stuff that goes on there. Like they're old people. I understand.
There's
probably,
sick people out there, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
But how come they always get the same jobs?
Right? They wind up back in there, right? Okay, and somehow they weasel their way back into the next old folks' home and act like they don't know who they are. They were prosecuted for fight night, okay? And these same people will be working 6 months from now. They'll be working somewhere.
It kind of goes back to the question with the pedophiles. Like, how does that pedophiles make them powerful? Like,
Yeah. And,
you see what I'm saying?
And maybe I just don't understand. Okay,
I don't get it either.
There was a dude arrested, and I don't know where it was. Okay, some 18-year-old dude for sexting with an 11-year-old girl for over 6 months.
I just don't see how you can get a
Can you
get a
not
rise
find a
from
17? That's what I'm saying.
that. Like,
Can
what
you
could
not
she
find
say that can turn you on? Ooh, I got
a new Barbie.
Yeah, I just watched Bubble Guppies. Oh my god, I
Right?
freaking
Oh,
love
that's
Bubble Guppies.
Crazy, right?
I don't get it.
I don't either. And again, it's got to be a sickness.
Like I get, like when I was in my single phase and like I would be talking to a younger girl, the generational gap just there, I would
Just
find
having
it hard.
conversation, you can't even talk.
Right, I would find it hard to find things to relate with.
Yeah.
I could only 18 to 11-year-old, like
You're still worried about if you're getting alphabets with marshmallows for breakfast.
you better have alphabets with marshmallows.
I mean, I'm just saying, like nobody should eat them without it, but
No.
people used to. Another crazy thing, everybody, I'm sure you've heard about it today. Demi Lovato.
Did she die?
No, she's
She
alive.
almost died.
She's alive.
She relapsed.
That's what
Heroin,
they said.
right?
Well, interesting because they said they used the Narcan to revive her, blah, blah. And originally the story was that it was heroin. Apparently it was not. It was some kind of other opiate, and I've forgotten what they said it was.
So basically heroin.
I mean, pretty much the same kind of thing. But what's crazy to me is then you look at the last song she released. If you now look back at it after this has happened, it was almost her telling the story that she was relapsing. It's kind of crazy.
Really?
Do you know, it's weird to me. You know what's crazy about that to me? She's 25. 25 years old.
She's younger than me?
Yeah, with gajillions of dollars. Okay? The world at her fingertips. And I guess, and I see, and all right, now I'm going to throw politics into this, okay? All of Hollywood is backing her.
Backing her with what?
Oh, well, let's give hope and prayers for
Well,
Demi.
I hope she rots in hell. Like, what do you expect them to say?
No. Okay. Now, what if this had been a Republican
Or Donald Trump.
or Trump's daughter?
But he got what he deserved.
One of Trump's daughter. Yeah, well, that's because they're sinners. They're a bunch of
Right.
freaking sinners. Yeah, hope she dies. I mean, all this. Had it been anybody else other than a leftist, they wouldn't be so supportive.
Maybe, maybe not.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's one. If it's where's all the outcrying of and don't get me wrong, okay. I hope the best for her. There's no doubt about that.
Hope she
Okay.
gets dick cancer. I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying though, but what gets me is that it's just the flipping mentality of I'll leave that alone. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know about in this situation just because of how bad, like deep it was. Like I feel like if anyone died, maybe in the back of their head, they'd be like, thank God that guy's gone. Say if it's Trump or somebody like that, they'd be like, oh, thank God. But in outside, they'd be like, oh, it's a damn shame. But then they'd be like, woo.
I know, right? I don't know. To me, it's just like, I think the public, and don't get me wrong, I support her too, you know, and I know that it's an addiction and that she's fought through it and all that. And I'm proud of people who do. I know tons of people who've been through it. It's a
slippery slope.
It is. It's a horrible thing for somebody to go through, for somebody's family to go through, and all that. But it just kind of blows my mind that all of a sudden this public outcry is going on for her, you know. But where were they? Where's the public outcry for all the people that are, you know, Republicans that are having the same problem? You know, why does it take some elitist or somebody from the Hollywood, you know, before everybody speaks up?
But how many people in that platform are actually Republican?
I agree. I mean, I understand that. I mean,
that's why really I don't really have anything to say because I don't know.
I know
the sample size is so tiny.
I know,
but you would like to think that they would.
There's got to be some. Well, we know there's a few. Okay, there's some people who speak out, but they're shunned.
Right.
You know,
some of their careers never.
Right. They're
just
done.
And it's weird how the paradigm it shifts because like look at the Dixie Chicks. They talk shit about George Bush and they vanished.
Gone.
They were almost as gone as quick as Blockbuster.
Right.
Like, they were out or Movie Gallery.
Movie Gallery.
One red box pop up. Movie Gallery was gone.
There's something the other day, and it was something I've forgotten who. It's like some younger kid. There was a thing out that showed, like inside what it looks like inside the last Blockbuster to close. Okay, like all the tapes are still in and everything, and everybody's saying, "What are those?" The younger generation, like, what are those? Yeah.
I
thought it was.
Becca's trying to throw those away, and I was like, "Don't throw my VHS
Dude, I've got
away,
hundreds,
bro."
And
Con Airs in there,
nothing
dude.
to play them on.
I know,
right?
I'm gonna get a VHS player one of these days,
right? I know somebody who recently just bought an old one, just so they could play all their old stuff.
Oh, bro, I want one.
I know, right? I would love to have one.
They even sell them anymore.
I'm sure it's crazy to me, and I don't know if they'll become as popular like they were, but you know, music on vinyl is like a huge thing now.
Oh yeah,
like it's like the collector's dream. I've got a friend of mine.
You can't listen to vinyl unless you drink craft beer, though. That's
for your age group people.
Scientific fact. Even a vinyl sounds so pure.
Oh, let me tell you something. That little pop into it, you can't replace that.
VHS player.
What are you trying to find out how much one would cost now?
Yeah.
Before you find that out, here's a funny story, and I don't remember what year it was, just because it's been a while back.
10 offers for $74.
Dude,
Go lift my butt.
We paid like $1,200 for our first beta VHS type player.
Dude, they're not. You can't
find them. That's what I'm saying.
They're more expensive than DVD players.
Right? Well, should you get a DVD player for $25? You can get a Blu-ray for $30 or $40. What's crazy to me is that everybody still has VHS tapes and no way to play them. How much are they?
This new JFC HR VHS 4-head VCR player, $350.
$350.
All right, you can throw them damn things away.
Yeah, we aren't playing those anymore.
Screw that.
You know, the sad part is probably everything that in that stack behind me.
I can get on Netflix.
or anywhere you click up on YouTube,
Con Air.
It's probably there, right?
Freaking Nicolas Cage.
Right.
That's my jam, though. I've probably watched Con Air over 300 and something times.
That's a great movie.
I would watch it every night before I go to sleep. Because the VHS player I had in my room, it would automatically rewind the tape and eject
replay it?
Eject it. So the next day, I just push it back in. And
here we go. Right.
So it got to a point where I would just like put it in, lay down in bed, and like have my back to the TV.
See,
and I was just watching it in my head.
See, that's another old school thing. Do you remember like all the little boxes to them said, "Please be kind, rewind."
Rewind, yeah. I wouldn't.
I pushed the envelope. I know, right?
I did on purpose.
I'd take them back at the end.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody's
I'd tape over it.
Do you remember somebody? Right? Do you remember somebody's job was to actually sit there and rewind tapes? People got paid to do that.
That would be a miserable job.
So let's talk about one other crazy thing that happened just in the last couple of days. Did you hear about the duck boat accident?
No, I have not. Was it Bobby Boucher's mama?
No.
Oh.
It was I think it was in Branson, Missouri. The video's crazy. You could probably pull it up.
Was it a fan boat?
No, it's a duck boat.
What kind of duck boat?
A duck boat is the boats that they start on land, they go in the water, and what they are is they're pretty much refurbished, the same kind of boats we used to land on D-Day or Normandy.
All right.
They're
I see what you're saying.
boats.
They have the blinds
right.
stuff. Yeah.
They're tourists.
and the weather kicked up really bad on the lake they were on.
I've seen that, and it sank.
It sank. Okay, 17 or maybe in 30.
No one know how to
people.
swim?
Well, this is what gets me, and
I saw that woman crying.
okay, she's the one. 9 people in her family died.
Jesus Christ.
Now here's the crazy part to me. Okay, 9 people in her family died. There was another family on that same exact boat with 9 people in their family, and they all survived. Now here's the crazy part to me. That boat sank in 80 feet of water. The captain of the boat is telling him, and he died too. Okay, is telling don't worry, we'll be just fine. You don't need your life preservers. Okay, when they pulled that boat up, all the life preservers were sitting at the top. Why would when the shit hits the fan? Okay, why wouldn't you throw your life preserver on and bail?
Yeah, but like, dude, lick my ass. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Even without He's saying stay in here, but it just doesn't look very promising.
Right?
Stay here. Do as the captain says.
Right? And I mean, I like. I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, I'm just like,
It's not funny at
blows
all.
my mind though. That
Like, jump out. Do you not have any survival
grief.
instinct?
That's what gets me. How do you just sit there
And die.
and let it sink?
You see it sinking. You don't just,
Like when you're sitting in your seat and the water gets to your waist,
oh, shit.
it's time to go.
Oh, shit. They have pants. There's like a boudet
Right.
for your.
Right.
For your, oh, that's nice. I like it.
Oh, that's very. I didn't realize there was a hot tub on this tour.
Oh, this is nice.
It's crazy to me though that people would. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand like people who have car wrecks into lakes and stuff like that. They get knocked out and they drown, whatever, blah blah blah, or they get trapped in the car. But this is a boat. Why didn't you just get off?
That makes too much sense, bro. It makes way too much sense.
And and the other thing that gets me is, what are people doing out on boats like that who can't swim? I just don't understand it.
I wasn't going to go there, but
I just don't.
I'm still not
understand
gonna
it.
go there.
I know, but
too soon.
it is okay.
Maybe 8 more
Maybe
episodes.
next week.
Maybe 8 more episodes.
Maybe next week
It'll
we'll
be-
talk more about that.
Yeah.
So, just out of the blue, a 13-story building collapses in Miami Beach.
Why?
Don't know. It all collapsed at one time. Nobody was actually hurt, but it was like, oh, a building came down.
Was it a structural fire?
I don't know. I think they were actually gonna demo the building, but
And it conveniently just fell down by
just-
itself? Oh, man.
just pretty much
that's
came all down
fortunate.
at one time. Like I said, there's been some really crazy stuff going on out there.
It's like 9/11, man. It's just fortunate.
Poof. There's another conspiracy. They probably just blew it up, and I'm talking about the 13-story.
I don't know anything about that 13-story building.
Yeah, but there's pretty cool video footage of it.
I don't know what was in it. You find out.
All these shark attacks,
The shark attacks?
lots of them going on all of a sudden. I think it's a
Why?
lack of food.
Why is there a lack of food?
I don't know. I'm just saying that there's been an outrageous number of shark bites and people getting eaten by alligators and bears and
I think it's the pressure or whatever.
possible.
The astronomical forces in the
Of course,
atmosphere.
to me, the worst story that recently is the town in Greece where the fire just swept through and killed like just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Dude, that has to be like the worst way in the world to die.
Fire?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it would suck.
can't imagine that. But it's just to me all the crazy stuff. It's like you turn on the news every day. Of course, I'm going to say this. I'm so glad, okay, that the elections are over, so I don't have to watch it every single second of every day of somebody's political ad. I get so sick of it.
I don't have cable, so.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I'm a lucky, fortunate guy.
Lucky you.
Lucky, fortunate guy. But
However,
also, that's going to do it. But
That's-
I want to know what y'all think about the moon landing. There's a lot more. I know we've covered it multiple times.
the
but
flat